What's going on, ladies and gents? It's Richard Kuo. This week we're going to talk about how do we let go of resentment and anger towards other people. Is there anyone in your life that you currently feel resentment or anger towards? Or people, multiple. It could be your mom, your dad, a brother or sister, a relative of yours, a current or past relationship of yours, friendship or romantic, a classmate or someone that you work with. Anyone, is there anyone that you hold resentment and anger towards? And I just want you to think about that person as we go through this. The first thing is, there's three things. Number one is stop taking things personally. Anytime you feel resentment or anger towards someone else, that is just your perspective of them, and it's nothing. It's resentment and anger is never personal. It's never a personal attack towards you. Resentment and anger comes from within, so stop making it about you. I'll explain a little bit more about that later. Number two is understand the other person's perspective. In my personal story, I had a good amount of resentment towards my dad. My dad, who's a great guy, he has such a great heart, but growing up I just had a lot of resentment towards him. Why? Because I saw him as this irresponsible dad who who says he's all about the family, but he doesn't show it. He does a lot of different things that just our family doesn't agree with, and I don't want to be too specific just to kind of keep his privacy. There's a lot of things I resented. I'm like, oh my goodness, like this guy is just trying to fake be a good dad, and I didn't understand that in his perspective he was just doing the best that he could. So this leads me to point number three. Point number three is accept the other person for who they are. What this means is that, again, my dad in this case was just doing the best that he could given what he had. So let's kind of recap that real quick. Number one is stop taking things personally. In my case, my dad was, him not treating me well or the way I wanted to was nothing personal against me. It's just that's how he was raised, and this is how he was raised to treat other people. Number two is understand the other person. This takes a little bit of time, so whoever it is in your situation, try to understand where do they come from, how were they raised by their family, their children, by their family, their parents, and understand like what makes them think the way that they do. Again, because it's never personal. They don't mean to hurt you intentionally, even if it seems like it. And number three, again, is accept the other person for who they are. And what that means is, look, again, every single one of us, we're all placed on this earth in different backgrounds. Some of us have really caring and a great family with parents who love us and are perfect, hardly ever. And most of us come from some sort of screwed up background with tons of problems, and we got parents who are just trying their best, their hardest, and their parents tried their hardest to support them, to support us, to live a life that is somewhat half decent. Okay, so if you're feeling resentment or anger towards someone else, please don't take it personally. Please know that people are trying their hardest, trying their best to survive and do the best that they can. This goes back to acceptance. Accept everyone, accept yourself. Recognize that every single person on this earth, whether they are pickpocket artists, or they're terrorists, or they're doing their murder, whatever it is, like all these people, and I'm gonna get some flack for this, but like accept everyone, because look, everyone came from a certain background, and I'm not saying that these bad choices are okay, but understand that everyone makes these decisions for a reason, okay? And that's just my perspective, and take it if you want. All right, thank you so much. Love y'all. Take care. Woo! Hey, what's going on, ladies and gents? It's Richard Kuo, and this week I want to talk about why our hardships are blessings. I think every single time we get stuck into a hardship or a challenge or a problem or something that just makes us feel a lot of pain, whether it is a emotional breakup or something